up is on the basis of temperature. Now what is this temperature basis that we are going to see? Now see, polymer on the basis of the operating temperatures, on the basis of temperatures, they are classified into two categories again, that is thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. We will be discussing each and every one of this plastic into detail, and for these things we can also discuss the difference simultaneously once we discuss of this all things. Now see here, what is thermoplastic and what is thermosetting plastic? The next question that is coming. Let us see ahead. Now see, thermoplastics are basically the plastic which softens on heating and hardens on cooling is called thermoplastic. Okay, so what happens whenever you are trying to heat it, it becomes soft, and when it becomes cool, then it becomes hardened. So this plastic on heating, as it becomes soft, then we can use it again. So what happens, we can remold it again. So that is the next point that we can immediately think of this case. What is the thing? That the plastic which softens on heating and hardens on cooling is called thermoplastic. Okay, it can be remolded. Why it can be remolded? Because it softens on heating, that's why you can remold it. Okay, you can again change the shape. Then we have another important property, that is it is having low molecular weight. Okay, now whenever anything has a low molecular weight, then definitely it finds some solubility in some of the solvent. So here for the thermoplastic, we can see very clearly that it is low molecular weight compound and hence it is soluble in organic solvents. Okay, so these all things has to be kept in mind. Now this is formed basically by the addition polymerization. We will be taking up in the detail what is addition polymerization, what is condensation polymerization, that I will be discussing with you all in this slides only itself. The thing that has to be kept in mind is the basic idea about thermoplastic. What are the qualities? The plastic which softens on heating and hardens on cooling is called thermoplastic. Now as it softens on heating, so you can remold it, right? So that is the next point. The third thing that you can see here is it is having low molecular weight. So what happens? As it is low molecular weight, so it can be getting dissolved into the organic solvents like benzene, toluene, etc. This has to be kept into the mind. Now we'll move ahead to the thermosetting plastic. What are the properties? Look here, thermosetting plastics basically are something different from thermoplastic. In that case, thermoplastic was there, it was getting softened on heating, but if you see here, it is not getting softened on heating. So that is the definition. The plastic which do not soften on heating is called thermosetting plastic. Now the another thing comes, what is the polymerization technique that is adopted to basically form this thermosetting plastic? Here we are using condensation polymerization technique, okay, to form the thermosetting plastic. The third thing that you can see here, that thermosetting plastic can be remolded, cannot be remolded. So why cannot be remolded? Again the question comes, just the similar linking of that, as thermosetting plastic is do not getting softened on heating, so what you can do is it cannot be remolded. You cannot mold it because it is not getting softened on heating. So that has to be kept in mind in case of both the polymers. Then you can see here very clearly that is it is having high molecular weight. Okay, high molecular weight means what? Compared to the thermoplastic, okay, thermosetting plastics are the compounds with the high molecular weight. Okay, then if we see the last point, as it is having very high molecular weight, so it cannot be dissolved in organic solvent, hence it is insoluble in organic solvent. So that has to be kept in mind. Again we will recollect the points. In case of the thermoplastic, we have seen earlier it was getting softened on heating, but in case of thermosetting plastic, it do not get softened on heating. In this thermoplastic, it was formed by addition polymerization technique, but here thermosetting plastic is formed by condensation polymerization technique. If you see here, it can be remolded, but thermosetting plastic cannot be remolded. Thermoplastic possess low molecular weight, thermosetting plastic possess high molecular weight. Then we have thermoplastic is soluble in organic solvent, thermosetting plastic is insoluble in organic solvent. So these are the comparisons, basically should say the difference between two type of plastic which are finding, but the own way, the own properties are making it popular into the different zones, and that's why they are finding the various applications into different fields. Let us move ahead with the classification of the polymer. Okay, now this is another classification of polymer, the second point on the basis of structure. What we have discussed in the first zone, that is on the basis of the, you can say that on the basis of the temperature, but now what we are taking classification of polymer on basis of the structure. Okay, so don't get confused. There is a temperature, when temperatures comes to the role, then it is classified in the basis of thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic, but when the structure comes to the role, then it is classified in three categories, that is linear polymer, branched polymer and cross-linked polymer. Let us go ahead with the drawing of this polymer, how it is formed. You can see here linear polymer, that is what happens here in case of linear polymer. Just assume that A is my one monomer. Okay, this is monomer. Now what happens, these monomers, okay, these similar monomers are getting arranged in a linear fashion and going to form a linear polymer. Look here, this is a pattern that is generated for linear polymer. Okay, so this is the first classification, that is linear polymers are having the monomers arranged into the linear fashion. So now you can just see the definition, that is polymer molecule in which monomer molecules react with each other to form a long continuous chain structure. Okay, so what happens, monomers are forming a long continuous chain structures, and that is why it is going to give rise to the linear polymer formation. Clear everyone? Now let us move ahead to the branched polymer. See how this branched polymer is formed. Look here, the second type, that is branched polymer, that is how we will draw. It is very simple. Your monomers are, there is one segment, there is one main chain. Okay, then there is another branch of monomer which is hanging on this main segment. So this is the structure of your branched polymer. So that is how, now we can see the definition. A polymer molecule in which monomer molecules react with each other to form a long chain with some branches. You can see here a long chain is formed with some of the branches hanging below this. It can be here, it can be here, it can be anywhere. Okay, so this is the thing for the branched. Okay, now the third category, that is you can see cross-linked polymer. What is this cross-linked polymer? We can draw here cross-linked polymer, that is C. You can see here cross-linking is there between the two chains of the polymer. It means what? You can see here very clearly that there is a one segment, okay, one chain. Then what will happen? This is the cross-linking that is formed here in the reactions. Okay, this is the cross-linking. So you can see here this cross-linking gives rise to the extra strength to the polymer, and hence these polymer, cross-linked polymers are not soluble in your organic solvent, because what happens, due to cross-linking extra strength is imparted to the polymer, and that is why it is having a special application. Now we can see the definition. A polymer molecule in which monomer molecules react with each other to form a long chain along with the chains interlinked with each other. You can see here there is a interlinking of the chains. Okay, so there what happens, interlinking occurs, and due to this what happens, they are finding the nature to be very hard. Now the next one is homopolymer concept. What is this homopolymer? See, if the main polymer chain, okay, is made up of same species of atoms means same monomers. You can say here same species of atom means same monomers. Then the polymer formed is homopolymer. So what happens? Homopolymer is going to consist of all the monomers of the same type. This has to be kept into the mind. Let us try to draw the structure of the homopolymer. You can see here homopolymer means what? Here all the polymers are of the same type. You can see here all monomers, okay? These units are basically same in case of homopolymer. But when you go for copolymer, then what happens? Your monomers will be different. So in that case you can draw it like this, AB kind of arrangement. This can be shown. This is different monomer, this is different monomer. So homopolymer consists of similar type of monomers, copolymer consists of different type of monomers, and depending on that again you can classify that linear homopolymer, then you can have branched homopolymer, then you can have cross-linked homopolymer. As I have shown here earlier, you can see here very clear, this is basically the example of linear homopolymer because all the monomers are same, okay? So this is example of homopolymer. Then you can see here again, this is the example of your again homo-branched polymer. Means what happens? Your main chain and your branch are having the same monomers. So this is also the example of homopolymer. And here the cross-linked homopolymer. Cross-linked homopolymer is consisting of all the monomers of the same type. Now if you want to draw the different copolymers, then how we are going to draw? Let us try to see that. If you see here, if I want to draw linear copolymer, then how will I draw? See here, you are aware that copolymer means different monomers are there into the role. So it means you will be drawing it something like this, M1, M2, M1, M2. Okay, this is having different fashion. But if I want to draw branched, okay, if I want to draw here branched copolymer, then what we can do? We can see here, then it is going to be something like this. If you see here M1, M2, M1, M2, then branches will be there M2, M1 like this. Okay, so this is the example of the branched copolymer. Why branched copolymer? Because branches are made up of your different type of the polymer. Okay, clear? And here you can see linear copolymer because M1 and M2 are the different monomers that are arranged linearly into the fashion. Now you can see another thing, that is graft polymer. What is this graft copolymer? You can say here graft copolymer that can be drawn like this. If I have M1, M2, M1, M2, M1, M2 like this, okay? Then the branch that is lying here, okay, it will be completely different. That you can see here. You can again describe it very clearly with the different drawing, that is I have M1, M1, M1 like this. What will I do? There is a branching M2, M2, M2. So you can see here that what is the difference? Your main chain is different, your branch chain is different. So this is basically your graft polymer, or you can say graft copolymer. Why copolymer? Because two different polymers are there into the role. Okay, so this has to be kept into the mind. Let us move ahead. As discussed, homopolymer, copolymer or heteropolymer. Okay, heteropolymer is similar to your copolymer. That is what I had said. If the main chain of the polymer is made up of different species of atom, then it is known as your heteropolymer. Then we can see here graft copolymer. They are the branched structures in which monomer segments on the branches and backbones are different. It means what? Look here, there is a thing, what they are saying, they are having the different branch and different backbone structure in case of your Kraft copolymer. So that one has to kept in mind. Let us try to discuss the types of polymerization. Okay, there are two techniques that is adopted to make the polymer, that is addition polymerization and condensation polymerization. What we can do is addition polymerization, why it is important, copolymerization, why it is important. We will be taking reactions and then we will be finding out how the things are happening. The first case, if you see here very clearly, what is the speciality of this addition polymerization? Let us try to take one example. You can see here I am drawing the reaction for addition polymerization. Let us discuss one reaction. Okay, this is addition polymerization, and here we are taking the example of polyethylene. Okay, polyethylene formation by addition polymerization. You know that our ethene molecule is like this as taught in the lecture. So now it is going to further, n number of ethene molecules are now going to further combine and going to polymerize to form this polyethylene structure. Okay, so this, you know, that chain is basically going to continue, so that's why we are going to write it like this. Clear? So this is basically your structure of your polyethylene. So polyethylene is basically formed. What happens? We have a ethene molecule, then another ethene molecule adds to this, another ethene molecule adds to that chain, and that is how the entire chain extends into the entire big polymer formation, and that is how your polyethylene is formed. Okay, so N indicates that it can be any number of this ethene unit, that is why we have written N here. And this polyethylene N here indicates that this chain is going to further extend it depending on the monomers that are available to join on both the hands. Okay, let us see the speciality. See, the first thing, that is it requires presence of the double bond. Now look here in the reaction, the addition polymerization reaction that I had shown you here. See here, it requires the presence of double bond. So whenever we want to do addition polymerization, we need the double bond in the structure of that particular monomer. Then only we can carry out this process. The second thing is that these molecules keep on adding continuously. There is no byproduct formed into the reaction. It is simple addition reaction. So here there is no byproduct formation like water or any other nutrient.